Welcome, football fans. It's another week of football, so you know what that means. Another little fireside chat. We are the Hate Watchmen, and this is QB Analysis with Tony Parlay. So that means this is Tony Parlay. I'm Chris Billings. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, Tony. How are you doing on this fine fall day out here?
I'm doing well. Trying to stay warm. You know, the weather's changing all over. That weather thing's happening. So you got to
As
do your best.
like bomb cyclones and stuff, man. Like apparently like
No.
rivers in the sky. I didn't know that was a thing, but hope we can still do these fireside chats like week 10, week 11, like week 13. Hope we can still do these. But hey, let's get into it. Every week Tony gives us three quarterbacks that he runs through his little analysis and we sit here and listen. So Tony, who's number 1 on your QB analysis for this week?
The first quarterback I'm going to go ahead and discuss is Matt Ryan.
Unexpected.
He's old. He's old. He was struggling earlier this season. I didn't really expect much of that team. I was very curious as to why they didn't draft a quarterback with a high draft pick and they selected Kyle Pitts. But after more of the season has gone by, I'm starting to see why they did this and what their plan is. Took him a little bit of some time, took a little while to adjust to Arthur Smith's offense. That Arthur Smith offense really helped Tannehill be successful in Tennessee the past couple of years. Once Matt Ryan got into his comfort zone and once he figured it out, that man has been cooking. The last month, 3-1. I got him here 10 touchdowns, 1 pick, 67% of his passes. I had to double take when I looked at this stat. He's tied John Elway with 40 game-winning drives, which, yep, that's right. Broncos fan there is going to be like, how? Yep, Matt Ryan just been in the league that long, just quality play. 5 straight games with 2 touchdown passes. He's really putting it all together. One of the most accurate quarterbacks on passes 10 yards or more downfield. You really see like the Kyle Pitts development, the Pitts Matt Ryan relationship happening. I mean, it just came into place last week against Miami. You saw it. Tua's actually playing well, goes down there, gives them the lead. The Falcons only have about a minute to go. They just slowly put together that drive, get him into field goal range. They end up winning
the Matt
the game.
Ryan of old.
Yep, the Matt Ryan of old. It seems like this system here with the play action helping him, but that last pass he had to Kyle Pitts, picture perfect, right over Xavier Howard. Just get him into field goal range. Like him and Pitts are connecting just like he used to connect with Julio back in the day. It's very impressive to see. Like I was ready to ride off the Falcons, and they definitely got some fight in them. So I was pretty impressed to see Matt Ryan developing into this quarterback.
We have a spread show that we also do here on the Hate Watchmen. Check it out below. I believe I've picked the Falcons the last 4 weeks. I'm definitely riding high on the Falcons. I honestly think with some of the things that are going on in the NFC West that possibly we can see a wild card happen in the NFC South. So Falcons, I mean, potentially what's happening with the Saints, the Panthers aren't going to do anything of note. So potential. Also, I just want to mention that having Arthur Smith as the coach while also having an owner named Arthur Blank is extremely confusing for me on Sundays. I'm constantly like, why is the owner coaching? But that's not the case. So little side note there. So Tony, who's number 2 on your QB analysis for this week?
We'll go ahead and keep it with the Arthur Smith connection, despite how much that name confuses you. You just see it. You're like the Arthur meme. You're just holding that fist out, like what's going on. And we'll talk about Ryan Tannehill. I previously mentioned him. Ryan Tannehill is got to be one of the most divisive and polarizing quarterbacks in the league. I would know. I was one of his biggest haters. I just didn't understand this guy, much like Miami. I was ready to write him off. I was like, this guy can't do it. He's not good. But unfortunately, I had to dig a little bit into this, do a little bit of research because like most common fans are just like, nah, that's all Derrick Henry. That's all play action off of Derrick Henry. But once I did a little bit of research, it's like, Derrick Henry wasn't good before Ryan Tannehill was there.
If it
Most
was
people
all
don't know
Derrick
that.
Henry, Marcus Mariota would still have a job.
Exactly. And Tannehill's a
And they
legit
would not be
quarterback in the
paying
league.
Tannehill the amount of money they're paying him if like they internally knew, oh, it's just Derrick. We just need to find a guy to hand it off to Derrick Henry. It's not that simple.
Yeah, I mean, Tannehill's legit. Dare I say he's a good quarterback in the league. And I mean, it definitely helps having a monster like Derrick Henry back there, but it's Tannehill. He's making these big time throws. He's like setting up the offense. I mean, you can try and do whatever you want to say it's all Derrick Henry, but Tannehill's still making big time throws. He's not turning the ball over. I mean, he's setting that offense up for success. I mean, we've seen it the past 2 weeks, the Chiefs game and the Bills game. I mean, it wasn't all Derrick Henry. Tannehill definitely played a part in that. They've been to an AFC title game, back-to-back playoff appearances. Like, Ryan Tannehill's a legit quarterback. I mean, it's even more impressive to me now because, like we talked about, Arthur Smith left for Atlanta, so he has a brand new coordinator. It's a whole new scheme. He doesn't have that to lean on, and he's still delivering. And the Titans are a pretty good team, 5-2. They're in that AFC South. I believe they have the lead, so they should be a playoff team, or they should definitely be in that wild card conversation.
You'd think after defeating the two previous AFC championship contenders in the Bills and the Chiefs that the Titans, yeah, pretty good team. And in terms of divisiveness, my only question for you is that just internally, or is that what you're actually hearing out in the world?
I think it's a little bit of both. I may have lost some bets betting against Ryan Tannehill, but it definitely seems like he's not a quarterback that gets a lot of credit in the Twitterverse and externally in the world as well.
He definitely does not, as somebody that supported him when he was in Miami and actually used to tell people he had better stats than an Andrew Luck. But we'll move on. Who's number 3 on your QB analysis for this week? Your third and final quarterback.
The third quarterback, another wonderfully divisive quarterback, is Carson Wentz. And Carson Wentz, I mean, you could see what happened to him in Philly. That man was like a turnover machine, just constantly holding on to the ball, waiting for those receivers to get open, then relying on athleticism, and then fumbling. That was it. That was like the playbook: fumble machine, relying on athleticism. Just like he was a nightmare in Philadelphia, got benched. You could definitely see why they're like, we can't even move forward with you. Let's put somebody else out there. But since he's been reunited with Frank Reich and he's gone to Indianapolis, they have a different setup there. He's like making him more comfortable. He's got the play action. And Carson Wentz has actually been really good the last month. And I mean, unfortunately, I did have to watch this bomb cyclone of a game in San Francisco where he got all of his passing yards on defensive pass interference calls. But he's actually been moving the ball downfield. I've got him here. It's like the highest quarterback rating in the league over the last month at like 119 and 11 passing touchdowns and only 1 pick. So I was just like mind boggled when I looked at those stats because he's really improving. You can see that like it's going to be interesting to see what Indianapolis does with that first round pick contingency thing they have with Philadelphia with him as they like battle with the Titans to see if they're going to make the playoffs. I mean, that's going to be a big game this weekend, Titans at Colts. And so I'm really interested to see what the Colts do. But I mean, honestly, Carson Wentz has looked better every single game that he's been there.
I mean, the way the AFC is shaking out right now, I'd say the Colts are very much just a contender as some of the other teams right now. It's a matter of keeping Carson Wentz healthy. When he's healthy, the Colts seem to do just fine. And yeah, I will admit there's like you probably have some recency bias with this pick after watching that terrible game and watching the quarterback that he went up against. If you watch that, anybody would walk away from that game saying like, yeah, Carson Wentz is a pretty good quarterback when, yeah, you're playing against Geno Smith. But no, totally get what you're saying. I think, once again, if he stays healthy, Indianapolis very much has a chance to get into the playoffs this year. It's just a matter of that. Got to stay healthy, and he makes some decisions sometimes that are counterintuitive to his health. So we'll see how that shakes out. All right, Tony, thank you for coming for another fireside chat and giving us your QB analysis for week 8. And thank you to all our viewers for getting here. Check out some of our other videos. We're the Hate Watchmen. We have our Pick'em show. We have our winners and losers. Check those out. And then check us out weekly here at QB Analysis. So this is Chris Billings with Tony Parlay signing out from another week of football.